right, welcome to another edition of Singles Only Podcast. My name is Paul Farahvar, and together with today's side girl, Patty Vasquez is here. Hi, Patty.
Hello. Thank you for having me back.
Thanks for being here and not complaining about your name, side girl.
Oh, okay.
Well, because Jeannie Dugan.
Would side gal be okay?
I think side girl with 2 R's and 2 L's is,
and a U.
is not sexist. Yeah, it's like cool. Right, and our guest today is Sovereign Syre. Hi, Sovereign.
Hello.
Hi. We had some mic issues, but now we're back on track.
Yeah.
Sovereign, we're making a special exception for you because this show is supposed to be for only single people, but I understand you're in an open relationship.
I'm practically single, except in every way that would make you single.
Okay.
Not.
You're in a relationship.
Yes.
But it's open.
Yes.
Okay. And not but. Only it's open.
It's, I'm in a relationship. It's an open relationship. We live together and do everything together. We're partners.
Do you talk about other experiences that you have together, or is it?
She does. Every relationship I've been in, there's been an infidelity issue every time. Usually me. I have a very hard time not pursuing things that I want because I so rarely get turned on. I'm so rarely attracted to someone that if I am attracted to them, I just want to do it. I don't want to run off with them, but if I'm really into someone, I want to fuck them. Because that happens once every 3 years. I don't know, where I meet someone, I'm like, holy shit.
This has to happen.
Oh my God. I can't not have this experience. So when I met my partner, she was the same way though. We were sort of careful about getting into a relationship because I said, every time I've gotten in a relationship, infidelity's been a thing, and even when it tries to be open, usually the other person ends up getting really jealous. I have never been jealous. I'm very confident that if they want to leave me, then they were going to leave me anyway.
Right.
But I'm very confident that they're not going to do better than me, in terms of having a partner that's going to be permissive and let them do whatever they want and be honest with them and not be manipulative and weird and all the things that people do in relationships.
A safe space for both of you.
I'm not going to do any of that. I'm very emotionally independent. I don't need to bring anyone down to bring myself up. That kind of stuff it's just the shit people do.
Yeah.
People do really fucked up shit to each other in relationships in the name of love, but it's usually in the name of loving themselves, not in the name of loving the other person. I want everything, but I don't really care if you get your needs met. That's how most people really interact in relationships when it comes down to it. Yeah. So I don't do that, and as a reward, I would like to. As a reward, I would like to be able to just I like to keep secrets, so I don't want to tell my partner every time I go fuck someone else.
That sounds
she knows it's
reasonable.
She knows it's happening, but
accepting.
I don't necessarily want to talk about it. I can, and with her, she doesn't have to tell me. She tends to like to talk about it. That for her is kind of part of the excitement of it. I get off on if she had a good time, then I enjoy hearing about her having a good time.
Oh, okay.
You know
That's
what I mean?
healthy, I guess.
Because I'm not jealous. I don't have a possessive. It's not someone made her come, that means I can't. And I think a lot of people get in this headspace where if someone had a good time with someone else, it somehow negates good time.
Are you? Is she bisexual or are you guys?
I think she's more gay than I am.
Okay.
I'm pretty evenly bisexual.
Okay.
But for me, I don't really have a desire to sleep with other women. I'm with her, and that's a personal choice I made out of deference to her or something. Was I don't have the desire to sleep with other women. So,
but when you say that you have these desires to go and hook up with other people, it's typically men that you're oh yeah.
Yeah, because men are more of a single serve experience.
Okay.
Single serve experience. I love that.
I mean, I don't want to offend you, but men are trash.
No.
And a lot of you are just emotionally completely incapable. It's
I've been called emotionally incapable at least once a week, so it's fine.
And I don't mean that in a misandrous way. I just mean that most men, you don't have to have these skills because men are kind of born into a world where it's kind of always having $5 extra, and women are in a world where it's kind of always being 50 cents short. And so we just learn different emotional skills than men do. Men are more confident. They make choices faster and easier. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that I think men take for granted. The reason that you have that is because you grew up in a world where you were kind of told that you could do anything if you wanted to. You could be president if you wanted to. And we don't grow up that way. So we're kind of grown up to believe that our interpersonal relationships are our mark of success. Are you married? do boys like you? Are they attracted? Like everything is that the measure of your worth is kind of the quality of your interpersonal relationships. So we have amazing interpersonal skills. We're very good at manipulating people. We're very good at, being diplomats, getting things done. They're just different skill sets. And so when I go to a relationship, I want to be in a relationship with a woman. I want to be in a relationship with someone that has my back, that understands what I'm going through, that
provides emotional stability.
Yeah, that is going to take, because I can financially support myself. I'm all of those things I can do. What I can't do is I can't cuddle myself at night, and I can't, you know what I mean? I can write a diary, but I can't sit to myself at night and say, I feel like I haven't done enough yet, or that set didn't go as well as I wanted it to, or like I can't do any of that with myself.
Right.
I can go on Twitter, but it's very hollow,
And also being as a comedian, dating men is not easy either. There's a whole trust thing and being on the road, and people used to tell me, they used to ask me, they would ask me like, how does he let you go on the road? I mean, my husband has always been great about my being a comic, but it is a strange thing because you're out by yourself on the road, and there aren't that many women out there.
Well, you just started doing comedy.
I started in a year and a half. I've done like 180 some. I think at the end of this tour, I've done like 190 something shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
So but this is the first time I've been on the road. I normally go between LA and New York because I used to live in New York and I have Alia in New York. So every 2 months I'll try to go to New York to do stage time because I didn't want to do stage time in front of my friends in LA. So I would do
that makes sense. Yeah.
I would do open mics and stuff like that every night, but I wouldn't do every once in a while I would do headlining stuff in the belly room at the Comedy Store, just to try out my longer sets.
Sure.
But I would come to New York to do sets because I didn't want anyone in LA to see me before I felt like I was competent. I don't think I'm good, but I wanted to at least feel like I was competent before I let anyone in Los Angeles see me do stand up because I'm coming from another career and all that kind of stuff.
So you're talking about your other career. Do you talk? You used to do porn.
Yeah.
Do you talk about that on stage a lot? I haven't seen you say. Okay.
I don't talk about it at all.
At all. Okay.
I just started talking about it. I think maybe a month ago, after election night. Because I wrote a bit about because I was a girl only performer. For 4 out of 5 years. I did a handful of scenes with men, but I came in as a contract girl or an unofficial contract girl exclusive to this director, Nika Noel, in 2011. And I shot my first scene, and I was girl only for 4 years, which is, now I can look back and be proud of that because that's actually very hard to do because there's a lot of pressure to start working with guys. There's way more money. The more you do, the more money you get paid. Okay. So girl is, I came in, I was getting $1,000 per scene, and that was very high. And that was because I was exclusive and all this stuff. But say when I came in, a standard girl scene was paid $800, and they shoot less of it. Okay. So you could do $800, and you might shoot 4 to 5 scenes a month, maybe, and that's if you're new, and no one's seen you before, so you're exciting to people. Whereas when I came in, standard for a boy-girl scene was $1,200, and they were shooting those every day. So you could work 30 days a month for $1,200 a day, or you could work 4 times a month for $800. You know what I mean? I used to joke that it's sort of like getting an MFA in poetry to do girl. Because it's like you get a life, you get the stigma stays with you for a lifetime, just like your student loans, and it's sort of respectable. Because not everyone can do it, but you don't actually make any money. Right. And I also have an MFA in poetry.
So you know from where you speak.
From personal experience. Yes. It's a very pretty, you can say, girl. It's considered a more lofty kind of, you have to be very pretty and very this and very that to sustain a girl only career. People, and there aren't many that do it anymore. Everyone that I was looking to were people, even when I came in, it was already a bygone era, like Aria Giovanni, Justine Jolie, Andrew Blake movies, where it was just sort of very glamorous women, almost always by themselves. And then occasionally there might be, that was a girl performer, and there were girls that made their whole career doing that, just had their own website. But that was already the way of the dodo when I came in.
Did you ever date any of the people you performed shows with?
No, when I came in, I was in a long-term relationship with a guy that I thought I was going to be with forever. Mm-hmm. And when we broke up, that whole relationship had gone so badly because I moved out to New York. I was originally a model. I moved out to New York and I was modeling, and he was this photographer that was you're going to be great. And then when that kind of started running out of steam, I wasn't like an agency standard model, but I had like a little following, and like I had some popularity with like all of these sort of art photographers that were really into shooting me. But there's just only so far you could go unless I wanted to lose a lot of weight and kind of radically like sort of commit to that kind of a lifestyle.
Fit yourself into a mold.
Yeah, and it was life's too short. I like food, and I don't want to feel like shit about myself all the time. And so this lady found me and was like, because I had a Twitter, and I was very smart on my Twitter, and she was, "Are you the girl in the picture? Is the same one tweeting?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And she was like, "I want to make you a star. I want to bring you out to LA, and I'm going to shoot you, and I'll make you my exclusive girl, and all this stuff." So it was very like quick. And I came in, and that relationship dissolved pretty quickly.
With the guy?
Because he couldn't handle, I got him work, and like he was shooting for, everything I could, and I was very committed to seeing it through. He had a lot of big dreams, but he wasn't like a hard worker. And I come from a really poor background. I got scholarships and grants and all the things to get through school and all that stuff. So I've always been a scrapper, and so I've always I was Curtis. I was like, I'm a golden retriever for spots. I will go into any town and I will get spots. Like I will get 10 spots in 2 days. If I'll figure out how to do it. Who do I talk to? Like, if you introduce me to one person and show me how it's done, I'll go to every single city and I'll know one person, and in 2 or 3 days I will have spots all over town, and I'll know 5 bookers, because I'm a scrapper. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? Like, you figure out how to get what you need and you fucking get it done. He wasn't like that.
And how long did you date him for?
We had been together 3 years. We made it about a year and a half. No, about 6 months to a year of being out in LA together before it just dissipated.
Did it affect him that you were in porn, or do you think it was something else?
It affected him, but not in the way people think.
Okay.
What affected him was that I became a star. Right. And he did not.
He didn't get the limelight.
Yeah. Okay. He used to say, like, I made you. Like, it was my photos, and I all the pictures I took of you, and all the things that I did, and all these things I did to build your brand. And he really felt that he was that person. And I was like, you didn't go to school for this long. You didn't sit and write jokes and go on Twitter and like have this. My Twitter was like I just learned how to write jokes on Twitter. I spent 5 years just 20 times a day, just every tweet I like made a joke. That was the whole point of my Twitter. That's how I did it. And that started to attract a following. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you didn't do that. You didn't make my personality. There's a million pretty girls. There are many girls much prettier than me that I came in with, that I've been in and out long after. I was in 5 years, and then I still do scenes sometimes, but if it's like a really hot person that I really like, and they're directing
male or female or either?
Either. If it's someone that I'm really attracted to and I like doing scenes with, if they call me and say, "Hey, I'm shooting a scene, will you come in?" I'll do it. Okay. Just because I like it. It's fun.
Is your significant other now? She's not in the industry.
No.
Okay.
She's completely complete civilian.
Civilian.
Yeah.
So she has no problem with you doing porn then? No. And you said the guy, he had no problem with it.
It wasn't about, it was much more about
what you owed him?
It was something much deeper. It was something much more about his own. But I do storytelling shows. I have a whole story about him that I did on Risk that talked about that relationship, where it was essentially falling in love with a con man, where it's like, I met him, he said he was 30, it turned out he was 40, and I didn't find out till like 6 months later. I mean, stuff like that. Just, you know what I mean? Like, every step of the way, it's like everything that he had told me about that had gotten me out to New York was essentially a lie. It was a house of cards. It's like once one went, it was like everything just started to crumble, which is the other reason I came out to LA, because I was like, oh shit, I have to do this on my own. Like, everything this guy promised me, he can't do any of it. He could if he tried. That's the sad part.
Right. He's not a hustler.
He had all the native talent. Stunningly good-looking guy, incredibly charismatic, very talented. If he had tried, he could have done anything he wanted to. And that's, and it's like that thing was growing up is when you stop falling in love with people's potential.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were in a relationship with him, did you also know that you were bisexual at that time?
Oh, yeah. While we were together, I had a long-term girlfriend. She was a burlesque dancer in New York City.
Okay. And he didn't have a problem with that?
Oh, no. He absolutely had a problem with it.
So he had a problem with that as well.
And then he was a headshot photographer, and there was this really cute girl, and I was like, you should fuck her, you know? And he was like, oh, yeah. And he did. And then I went out on a date with this guy, but the guy I went out on a date with is a little bit of a celebrity. He was this comedian from England. And I didn't even do anything with the guy. And I came home. The girl was in our bed still. And he was giving me attitude for having stayed the night with this comedian. I was like, I didn't even sleep with him. I just got so drunk. I didn't want to walk home. And he wanted to hang out and talk all night. And he had his cool suite in the fucking Rivington. So we just hung out. Like, that's literally all that happened. Because he wasn't comfortable banging me because of you. Like, even though I said it was fine, he was like, I don't want to get involved in the middle of that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like, to me, the irony. And so, yeah, no, he absolutely had a problem with it, but there were things he understood he had to grudgingly kind of go along with. But so we lasted a little bit, and then once I was in LA and I was making real money, and I was now the sole breadwinner of the family, as it were. That I was the sole breadwinner, and I was sort of the star, and I was, you know, and I had I didn't feel successful at the time, but now looking back, I was at AVN this last year signing, and I'd gone the first year, and then I hadn't gone to the actual convention. I'd gone to the award shows, but not. And I was sitting at the convention. I was signing.
And people lining up at your table?
There was a huge line at my table. There was a line at my table, and people were coming in with like 50 DVDs, like covers, and getting very emotional. I love you. You've never been at the convention. Like, you're my favorite girl of all time. Like, wow. I was so as soon as I saw that you tweeted you were here, and I almost started crying because I was like, I didn't think anyone cared.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, because you sit alone in your life, and you don't, you know, and girl.
So do they.
Like,
they don't reach out, you know, unless they know that you're going to be in person, and it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, my relationship with my fans has been really interesting because, you know, a lot of them have never seen my movies. They came to me through Twitter because I was funny. So they'll, like, most of my fans, they've all seen my stand-up now, but most of them still haven't seen any of my movies because they came to my Twitter because they thought I was a comedian already.
So you have the same name in both.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when people say they're a fan, it could be either. And it's you have basically a fan base in both groups.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, like, girl fan are different, and then my fans are even more different than that. They tend to be much more respectful. I could count on my hand. I've had maybe 10 abusive tweets in a 5-year career on Twitter. I've had maybe
That's
5.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 people going, you're a dumb whore. Like, out of a 5-year thing, you know.
I suspect the way you write probably dissuades people from trying to tussle with you.
They're probably scared.
And even in the emails and stuff, you know, they're very kind, they're sensitive. Girl fans tend to be a different breed of person.
When you say they're girl fans that were at the AVN, the adult videos, are the awards? Are they men or are they women or both? Okay.
Usually men.
Okay.
They're men that they're more concerned with. They don't want to feel like the girl's being hurt. They're worried about the girl being exploited, so they feel more comfortable watching girl because they're not worried that the performer is being exploited in some way, you know. And so because for them that gets in the way of their boner, you know, they don't want to see. There are things they just don't want to see. And when I did a handful of boy girl scenes, and I even had an experience where a director who'd been directing me forever, he set up the cameras and then he left. He's like, I can't watch this. I just can't.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I was like, it's okay. I'm still me. Like, you know that I sleep with men. Like, what? Yeah. He was like, I can't. He's like, I love you. I can't watch it. And I've, a lot of fans were like, I tried to watch it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, like they feel
it's not even like I was a traitor. Like, I tried. They tried to be good. Like, I tried to watch it. I can't see you that way, you know?
Okay.
Like,
they're invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has your porn career at all affected your ability to have sex in the real world? Like, has it affected you personally or your ability to have
the only thing that's really affected is like having access to performers that are really good looking and really good at fucking, and they have a big dick, and they have a perfect body, you know.
Whereas in the real world, none of that exists.
Yeah. So the joke I have is that it's hard for me to go out and date in the real world. But like, if I can just text Mark Davis, or if I can just text Ramon Nomar, or if I can just text Xander Corvus and say, hey,
I knew the last name of
do you want to come over? And they'll go, yeah. And then they'll come over and they've got a big dick. They are really good looking. They can fuck like a tango dancer. And then they're going to leave. and they're gonna go home. And you know what? And then I can call them in 2 days and be like, hey, you want to go like watch the game? They're like, yeah, cool. Can I bring my girlfriend? Sure. Yeah. Like, it's hard to, when you have that, it's very hard to like go into the real world and like, I'm gonna go on a date and I'm gonna waste an hour just to know if your like dick is trash or not. Like,
you already know up top everything about Xander and all these other guys.
Yeah, like, because we've worked together. I know they know how to fuck, and I know that we like each other, and we like to fuck each other. And, you know, because I don't like necessarily like everyone that I've done a scene with. So, you know, some shit you figure out as you're doing a scene. Sure. But when you do a scene with someone and there's people you just click with, and you're like, oh, we like the same shit. I like the way this person feels. They get me. We got a thing. And then that just goes in your brain. And you're like, oh, okay, so, you know, next time I'm feeling horny or something, there's someone I can just call, and I know everything's fine, and I know they're tested, and I know all this stuff, you know, and I know who they are.
It's a safe place.
Yeah. And
so it seems like you've got it all figured out. You have this open relationship that provides you emotional stability and whatever
and
you
she's
need.
Really pretty and hot. Like, I mean, not to negate not to negate the sexual aspect of that relationship. There is also sex in that relationship.
Sure. I assume so. I assume
and she's a very, very beautiful, sexy person. I don't want her to listen to this and be like, what?
No, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the bar is pretty high to go out with you.
It sounds like she needs something outside of that. It's that you enjoy something once in a while.
Yeah.
Well,
so
like,
you see something you like.
It's like a snack.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me too, like sexual experiences can be more, I'm 5'8" and like 140 pounds. So I like to get thrown around a little bit. Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend is 5'4" and 105 pounds. So there's certain things she's not going to be able to...
So do you throw her around a little bit? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
She likes that. Okay. So, you know, but my thing is that, so for me, sometimes in a sexual experience, I don't want anyone to rape me. What I'm saying is, I have to put that disclaimer out there. Sure. Please, no one listening to this think that what I'm saying is that I would like to be raped or manhandled if I do not know you. Anyway.
Yes. Right. Good to put out
with
there.
With consent and permission, for me, there's actually only one guy that I see now, and he's just like a silverback gorilla of a dude, but he looks like an Aqua de Gel model, and he has a huge penis.
And he's a porn star too?
He is a performer, and so it's like, you know, like that provides... So
there's no guy out there saying, she's talking about me. Like, I don't
that describes like 15 performers, but he's...
Sure.
You know, he can throw me around and do that thing. And so for me, in that, I'm looking for something that isn't necessarily a purely sexual experience. Sex is the vehicle in which we're getting there. But for me, that's very much a more psychological experience. I want to be manhandled. I want to be thrown around. Like, I'm looking for a very specific kind of experience. And sex is just...
And these guys know that.
Of the car. Yeah, sex is just the car we're getting in to get to the destination. You know, I wouldn't want him to be tender or romantic. Right. I would think that was silly. You know, like it's weird.
Almost awkward.
Yeah, like it would, like if he came to my house and like brought flowers and was very tender and silly, and it would just feel corny. Yeah. You know,
it would ruin the mood.
But you know, if my girlfriend does that stuff, it's awesome. It's romantic. Right. If she comes home like, I found this David Bowie coffee table book. I know you're really sad that he died. Like, here you go. I go like, that's fucking cool. Or she's like, here's this Caravaggio book I found. You know, I'm like, yeah. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like that's, if one of these dudes did it, I'd be like, we're not, I don't even know what you're trying to do here, but you're killing my boner. Like, you're killing my
Do you think you're gonna end up in this relationship with your current girlfriend long term? Or I mean, it seems like it's going pretty well.
We moved in. We knew each other for 2 weeks when we moved in together, and we've been together now like over a year. And living in a 1-bedroom apartment, so I think we're in. I think we're pretty.
Do you want to get married? Is that the goal in life, or doesn't
she just matter? Got divorced, so I think we're both like, you know,
enjoy each other.
I'm on the health insurance, and she's my emergency contact, and that feels pretty committed. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's like,
great.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta have you back, and we want to hear.
It's been a pleasure.
I feel like I did all the talking. I'm so sorry.
You're supposed to. Yeah. We want to know more about you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're gonna
excellent.
Have you.
For those that aren't watching the video, I am physically perfect.
True story.
True.
And what else about me?
Incredible eyes. Is it blue, green?
They're like a blue gray kind of. Yeah.
Gray,
I don't know what they're light in color, and what else about me?
lovely full lips.
Where can people find you online to follow you on social media?
Okay, you can. I live on Twitter. It's @SovereignSyre. I am on it constantly. I'm on
Taking
Snap.
my phone out and follow right away. Good.
Yeah. I have a blue check. That's the real me. So I have a little verified check. That's how you'll know it's me. I also have a Snapchat, Sovereign Syre, same thing. I'm always on Snapchat. I don't do naked. I don't post nudes anywhere. So sorry, guys. But Snapchat for just, if you like, I have a really awesome, cute pit bull dog, and I travel a lot doing stand-up. So it's a lot of stand-up, food, dog. SovereignSyre.net is everything else. It's show dates. I have a podcast called Observations with Sovereign Syre. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you can, Stitcher. I just had Carl Hess on. I had Jim Jeffries on recently. I think my next guest coming up is, I have this writer named Joshua Turek, and then Mike Kaplan, and
that's great.
Nice.
I'm forgetting. Lori Kilmartin is coming on.
Oh, wonderful! She's so funny.
That's awesome. Check it out.
I've had like Dave Foley, Daniel Knopf, the Creative Carnival on. Like I have all comedians. So all that info is sovereignsyre.net. And that's
Syre with a Y.
Syre. So SOVEREIGNSYRE.
I just followed you. Very exciting.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the same.
And that's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thanks
stopping
for
by,
having
Sovereign
me.
Syre, and thank you, Patty.
It was
for
lovely
being here.
meeting you. Absolutely.
That's another
I'll
episode.
be a side girl. Sovereign's here, definitely.
Yeah, right. Thanks so much for listening and watching the Singles Only podcast, everyone.
Have fun.